All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. Check out Pig and a Pickle, 2 locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. And this video is brought to you by our friends at Claw Daddy Arcades. And big thanks to Claw Daddy Arcades for sponsoring the Krug Show. They're a great follow on Instagram at Claw_Daddy_Arcades to find a location near you. 3 locations in Southern California, spots in Fresno and Modesto, and a brand new Claw Daddy Arcade location coming soon to the Bay Area. Once again, follow them on Instagram at Claw_Daddy_Arcades and find a location near you. All right. Every year, Matt Barrows, who I think's the best, actually, to be honest. And I don't want to embarrass him, but he's not here, so I can say it. I think he's the best Niner media guy. I think he's the most credible. I think he's the guy who works the hardest, has the best connections. He's the guy that I probably admire the most down there. He always has his draft crush of the year. He started doing it in 2008, and for only the second time, he's chosen a linebacker as his draft crush. In 2016, he gave his draft crush designation to Miles Jack out of UCLA. The Niners wound up taking DeForest Buckner, so it worked out well for Trent Baalke that day. But this year, Matt Barrows' draft crush is Chris Pooh Paul from Ole Miss by way of Arkansas. And it's interesting. It's like this is a really good player who, and I love this pick by Matty because Matty really digs deep. It's not going to be a first-round pick. He's probably not even going to be a second-round pick. He's probably going to be a third or a fourth-round pick. He's an undersized linebacker from Ole Miss who started off at Arkansas, and he's probably going to go, as I said, round 3, round 4. But the Niners badly need a weak side linebacker. They did not want to let Dre Greenlaw go. They wanted to retain him. They don't have a replacement. So they need to find a replacement in this draft for that weak side linebacker spot opposite Fred Warner. They tried Devondre Campbell. He was a train wreck. He was way too slow. He lost all of his athleticism and agility, and he was a disaster. D. Winters is a good player. He's fast, but he overruns plays. He's a little undisciplined, and he sometimes gets hurt. He's a little light. He's a good option, but he's not necessarily a lock to be the starter. And so enter Chris Paul, who, started at Arkansas. This guy ran 4.63 in the 40. He's only 222 pounds. He doesn't have great length. 3.5 sacks, though, 24 pressures. This guy can pressure the quarterback on third downs. He can cover out of the backfield. What I really love about him, when targeted, opponent's passer rating was 92.2, which is very similar to what Dre Greenlaw had. Dre Greenlaw ran 4.73 coming out. This guy runs 4.63 for the stopwatch. He's just a very productive player. 88 tackles this year, only 4 missed tackles. I mean, that right there is great. 4 missed tackles all year, according to PFF. 88 tackles and 4 missed tackles. One thing that Lane Kiffin talked about, Lane Kiffin called him an old school player. And really what the trait that the Niners have to find is also the trait that Chris Paul has, which is Dre Greenlaw was a dog. And I mean that in the fondest of ways. It meant so much to Dre Greenlaw. And when you take a guy off your defense where it means that much, you better find somebody else where it means as, close to as much. And that's Chris Paul. He's an old school player. And, Lane Kiffin said, what really stands out is how much this guy cares. This guy really brings the passion, great determination. He'll mix it up with guards. He'll fight. He's an old school, passionate player. And, this guy, he's physical and he's passionate. I mean, if you say Dre Greenlaw, you say physical and passionate. And when you say Chris Paul, you say physical and passionate. So it's a great choice by Matt Barrows for sure. I love it. I would draft this player in the 3rd round if I could. If I could get him in the 4th round, even better. But yeah, the Niners, it's a great undersized linebacker draft. I love Eugene Asante. He would have been my probably linebacker draft crush because he just loves to play and he's playing a million miles per hour. But I love Chris Paul too. Chris Paul's really physical. If you got Chris Paul and Eugene Asante, you might be doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. So I like that one. I like this one. I like it because SEC linebacker who's been productive and has good traits, good measurables, really good player, both going backward and forward, can rush the passer. The 24 pressures on the quarterback is a great number. The passer rating when targeted is a good number as well. But I just, I really like the fact that he's an old school, passionate player who cares a ton and is kind of a tone setter. I mean, there's good players, there's bad players, and the best players set a tone. And this guy sets a tone. So I love it. I think Chris Paul would be a fantastic addition. And it's funny, Maddie's like, is he tough? The guy has 6 older sisters. 6. Matt's like, he's got to be tough. His father's also a Navy veteran and raised his kids with with military discipline. Grit and determination are traits that stood out to Dane Brugler in The Beast. He described Paul as always had the dirtiest jersey on each tape studied. So plenty tough. He's not a perfect prospect. There's limited length there. He's only 222 pounds. He's got arms just shy of 30 inches, wingspan that was the smallest of any of the top linebackers. So it's not like he's a perfect prospect. But and the 4.63 is a okay number. They're faster linebackers for sure in this draft. But Greenlaw didn't run great for the stopwatch either. So there you go. Chris Pooh Paul, the former Arkansas linebacker who finished up this year at Ole Miss, is Maddie's a draft crush for 2025. Matt, in the article, also gives 3 other 3rd and 4th round draft crushes at positions of need. He says CJ West of Indiana, 6'1", 316 pounds. He was impossible to block one-on-one at the Shrine game, according to Maddie, and I agree. He's got Braden Swinson from LSU, productive edge rusher in the SEC. He's got Charles Grant, an offensive tackle from William and Mary with 35-inch arms. That's a great one as well. I think all those guys, if you told me the Niners got Charles Grant, Braden Swinson, CJ West, and Chris Pooh Paul, I wouldn't be shocked. I think all those guys are good fits for the 49ers. All right, so I told you my draft crush is Eugene Asante, and there's no question Eugene Asante is really, really good. As far as, he loves to play. He's playing a million miles an hour. The same way it means so much to Chris Pooh Paul, it means so much to Eugene Asante, and that part cannot be defined. You have to just kind of investigate it. And Eugene Asante, he lives to play football, so he would be my draft crush. But if I had to go on one on each side of the ball, I'm going to go with Trey Harris, the wide receiver from Ole Miss. I just think in a draft where there's a lot of talk about the other receivers, there's been very little talk about Trey Harris. And Trey Harris checks every box. He's a true X receiver. He started at Louisiana Tech and transferred to Ole Miss, 6'2", 6'3", 210 pounds, a true X receiver. He can do it all. Just a really good player. One of the best players in college football. Finished his Ole Miss career with 2,015 yards, 15 receiving touchdowns, and 20 total games played, 19 starts. Averaged 100.8 yards per game, 17.7 yards per catch, 5.7 receptions per game as a Rebel. So, it's funny. He's one of 2 in SEC history to average 100 yards per game across a career. The last guy to do it and the only other guy to do it was Jabbar Gaffney at Florida. So this guy's been very productive. I mean, let's be honest. He's a very productive football player with good size and had a great career too. If you combine what he did at Ole Miss with what he did at Louisiana Tech, He ended his total career with 220 catches for 3,532 yards and 29 touchdowns in 51 games, 40 starts. So I really love this player. He's big, he's fast, he's got good hands. Every time I watched him, he was good. I mean, this guy really against the best cover players in the SEC, he really stood out. He made big play after big play. And I really said, if you said, sometimes the quarterback makes the receivers look good. In this particular scenario, I think the receivers, Trey Harris, Jordan Watkins, Juice Wells, uh, Caden Prieskorn, I thought those guys made Jackson Dart look better than he was. I'm not a huge Jackson Dart fan. But I really do like this player, Trey Harris. He's already graduated. He's got a bachelor's degree in general business that he achieved a year ago. So he's got his degree. He did it in two different schools, two different systems. He's got size. He's really hard to defend. He can play the outside. He's not just a slot guy. He can play anywhere really, but he can be that X outside receiver, and I think he can play right away. So that would be my draft crush. On defense, give me Eugene Asante, but on offense, give me Trey Harris from Ole Miss. And once again, congrats to Matty Barrows for picking Chris Pooh Paul from Ole Miss as Matty's 2025 draft crush. Good call by Matt Barrows. All right, that does it for us. Thanks to Clawdaddy Arcades. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle. And thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.